भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Mundaka Upanishad, third Mundaka and the first chapter, and we have covered shloka number 5th and 6th according to the first chapter of the third Mundaka, or 49th and the 5th shloka in sequence, in consecution. Anyway, the main subject is we are now coming to a conclusion of the study of the Mundaka. And while we are concluding, he will now, the author of the Mundaka Upanishad, will now highlight the procedure, the technique, and the art of conducting your life in such a manner that it becomes easy for you to reach that goal. Let me, from a common sense point of view, explain the 4 words that I continue to repeat while studying the scriptures. What are those? The scriptures basically and primarily informative. That information, when assimilated or absorbed and received, that information becomes a part of self-education. So, the scriptures are informative, educative. Having been educated, any commonsensical person will ask, well, now I understand what is the goal because of information and education. Now I would like to know what are the instructions to reach that goal. Informative, educative, instructive. Now, if I have no description or if I have no idea what the goal is like, I'll be beating about the bush and roaming in circles because I have no goal. So description of the goal is a must to complete your process of evolution from what we are today, egocentric individuals seized by an obsession of separateness. I am separate from the whole world. And in the world, I see separateness, which is a cause of diversity, or vice versa. Diversity is a cause of separateness, or separateness is a cause of diversity. So, I am now a bundle of self-imposed, woolly-headed ideas regarding spiritual goal. He has now taken upon himself, the Upanishadkara, the Maharishi Angirasha, that in the concluding part, he will not beat about the bush. He will tell you right on your face what is your information, how that information has helped to educate yourself. Having been educated, what is the procedure? And if you follow the procedure, where will you reach? What will be the end result of this evolution, which is accelerated by your willpower? And evolution turns into a revolution when its acceleration is accelerated. When the speed of growth is faster, we call it revolution, otherwise it is evolution. So it is within our grip, within our hand, whether we achieve that goal in this life or not. So the first chapter of the third Mundaka and the second and the last chapter of the whole of the Mundaka concentrates on information education, not much of it, but it is there, but highlighting instruction and description of the goal so that you understand where you will reach and you will say, I have arrived. Why? You know what is the goal and you have reached there. Therefore, it is mostly instructive and descriptive. The last two chapters. We have covered the first four of the first chapter of the third Mundaka. And let me repeat again the fifth shloka because it's very important. Why? The fifth shloka tells you what are the disciplines that you have to in totality follow. If you do so, you will qualify yourself to realize your true original nature. If these disciplines are not practiced through, if these disciplines are not mastered by yourself, you will not be able to reach the goal. Therefore, it is very, very, very important. And what are those four disciplines? Satyena labhya. It is attainable by being truthful or pursuer or follower of truth. And the concept of truth is very, very, very wide here. Not only you are truthful in your speech, verbally, you have to be truthful verbally, emotionally, rationally. There's no escape. So he says the first discipline is Satyena labhya. It is attainable, it is achievable, it is reachable, it is doable. Labhya. It is attainable, achievable, reachable, doable. By what? By being absolutely wedded to truthfulness. That is Satyena labhya. It is not an easy task. Our life is a mixture of truthfulness and falsehood. We make use of both to fulfill our desire of this world. So you have to make a relentless backbreaking effort. This relentless backbreaking effort to reach your goal unrelenting, uninterrupted, is tapasya. Tapasya is to burn yourself, to burn away all the dirt and dross that clouds my understanding and all that is burnt away by my unending, unbreakable, uninterrupted effort. That quotient or quantity of effort is known as tapasya. Satyena labhya, tapasa labhya. Samyak jnanena labhya. The word labhya is to be added to all the four. Satyena labhya, tapasa labhya. What is to be attained? Labhya means to attain. What is to attain? Hi esha atma, my true original identity. I am where I am, and it is an absolute truth. I am where I am. But do I know in reality who am I? I do not know that. I have identified myself with what I am not. Atasmin tat buddhi. I have identified myself with my body, which has come from my parents. I have a lineage, I have a clan, I have this, that I am Mr. So-and-so, born on such and such a date, at such and such a place, at such and such a time. Time, space, name, form. And I have identified myself with that, and while living according to social custom and etc., I have been educated tertiary, and I'm so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. I have sheaf of papers to say my resume and my curricular meeting. And I'm identified with that. To break that identity, samyak jnana is necessary. Samyak means real, true knowledge. Here he is making a distinction between two types of knowing. What is that? I know through the interaction with my visual organ that is a chair. I know that. And who knows? I say I know. How do I know? I see it. That means it is something separate from me, and I need the help of one of my sense organs to interact with this world through 5 different avenues, and I at the end say, I know, I know, I know. This type of knowledge is known as objective knowing. I am the subject, the knower, and the object is known. It is objective knowledge. Now see, I say I am. I am put into a cage, a box, where there is no avenue of light, so the eyes don't see. I don't smell anything. I don't hear anything. I'm not allowed to touch anything, and I'm not allowed to taste anything. All my 5 sense organs are dulled and dead. They are alive, but they are no more active. I have made them inactive by putting myself in a cage, iron cage. light proof, sound proof, smell proof, and so on and so forth. And I'm not allowed to touch anything. I'm not allowed to taste anything. All your five sense organs are closed. They don't act. But you are aware, I am. And Swami has encased me in a cage. I am. And my Swami has encaged me in a cage where my sense organs are no more working. But without my sense organs, I am aware I am. So this is knowledge which is directly coming into me all the time. I am aware. Awareness is knowing. I am. And I am aware the chair is. Try and find out the distinction in two types of knowledge. Paroksha anubhuti and aparoksha anubhuti. Let me explain, dears, don't be upset. Paroksha. I need an indirect avenue to know things external to me. Indirect knowing. And I am aware I am. I need nobody's help. And to such an extent, the conviction is so strong that if God comes and tells me, you do not exist, I would say, sir, you are a busy man. You keep busy with your world. Let me live with my conviction. I am, I exist. It is such an unshakable reality. And that is satyam. Anatikramya jnanam satyam. That reality which you cannot outgrow, override. You have all that you can do is to manage with that awareness of my amness in its true original identity. Samyak jnana means that type of rock solid, crystal clear, intellectual conviction. And brahmacharya nityam. What is brahmacharya? The energy that this body generates, that energy is totally under your control, and you divert it to realize your true original nature, and not a drop is spent elsewhere. That is the real meaning of the word brahmacharya. It has been explained away, the biological propensity of being lustful, of being greedy, of this and this, the 6 propensities, all that has to be got rid of. And I am so much bound down by these that I need the last drop of my energy to break that chain and re-establish myself in my own magnificent glory, my own majesty. Swe mahimne pratishtita. Where do I stay? My body is in a chair. My body is in a room, in a house. But where do I stay? I exist in my own glory, own majesty, own magnificence. Swe mahimne pratishtita. I am ensconced, deeply rooted in my own magnificent glory. I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. This is my seat. This is where I am. I have to divert all my energy from here to there. That is why the word brahmacharya encompasses everything, which teaches you how not to spoil or spill a drop of energy that you generate in your life. And all that energy must go there, nowhere else. If you do so, this is instruction now. Samyak jnana, brahmacharya, satya, tapasya. All these are sahakari sadhanani, ancillary efforts. Make those ancillary efforts with your viveka, vairagya, samadhamadi, satsampatti and mumukshatya, sadhana chatushtaya, the four principles of spiritual life. Have discriminatory understanding, be renunciation, be a student of renunciation, follow the 6 disciplines, sama, dhamma, uparati, titiksha, shraddha, samadhan, and desire to reach the goal. Desire to free myself of that bondage. All of them together makes it 9. 9 disciplines. Then what happens if you do so? Anta sharire jyotirmayo hi subhraha jam pashyanti jataya sheena dosha. If you carry on with this instruction, that is viveka, vairagya, samadhamadi, satsampatti and mumukshatya. If you count them separately, 9 different disciplines. And here he adds satya, tapasya, samyak jnana, brahmacharya. If you practice all these as instructed, as ordained, as dictated, then what happens? Jataya sheena dosha. This is yati. Yati means who has now renounced everything of the world. Please don't only confine yourself to a sannyasi with Gerua cloths and all that. Try to denounce everything of the world. Literally, you are fulfilling the meaning of the word yatihi. Sanjata purushaha, and where is that restraint? Sanyamaha, niyamanaha is total refrain from being attached to the world. If you do so, what is happening? All the attachments that you had before, they are falling off. The dirty mirror, by very careful and very, I would say, soft cleaning, that dirty mirror is slowly and slowly having an opportunity to blossom forth its reflectivity. A person who follows the 9 disciplines of Anubandha Chatushtaya, who follows these disciplines, while he is following these disciplines, he is becoming sheena dosha. He is becoming very, very, very transparent. He was so long as opaque as a granite. Now that opacity is being washed clean, the dirt of a mirror is being washed clean. And what is happening? the reflectivity of the mirror is showing itself, because it was there, it is there, but it was covered with dirt. So that dirt is being slowly and slowly removed. As and when it is being removed, what happens? That person, antasharire, deep within his own being, within himself, he sees that ever pure Jyotisham Jyoti Atma. Antasharire Jyotirmaya hi Shubhra. Shubhra is pure white, unadulterated, untainted, unpolluted. Pure. Your true, pure, original nature will be experienceable by you. I will not use the word visible because it is beyond your sense organs. It will be experienceable by you that I am that, I am the divine. So dear, the 5th chapter in 4 lines summarizes the whole procedure that a person who is desirous to reach that goal has to follow. In these 4 lines, the whole gamut, the world of experiences that one has to go through is being mentioned. Now, he has said Satya. He will eulogize what this Satya is. Satya has 2 meanings here. One worldly and another scriptural. Let us first read the sloka. Satyameva jayate na anritam. Worldly. In this world we find, however prolonged time it may take, but ultimately truth triumphs. We may feel impatient, but it is ultimately the truth triumphs in this world. So it starts from the worldly concept of truth, that in this world of ours, what is true, what is real, what is correct will ultimately triumph. Na anritam. However, you may build up a huge armory of falsehood, but it has no legs to stand upon. It will be like a house of cards. It will fall down. Satyamava jayate nanritam. Satyena pantha vitate devajana. Vitato devajana. By following truth in our day-to-day working life, we are following a path which will be leading us to that goal. There are 2 paths known in our scriptures, Devajana and Pitrijana. Jana means highway, path, avenue, road. One is a path which leads you to the divine, the gods. And the other path leads you to the netherland. What is that netherland? To be born over and over and over again. And here the concept of kramamukti. You follow truth in your life. You are not spiritual, but morally and ethically, right from your childhood, it was dinned into years, never take recourse to falsehood, be truthful. And you have taken it to heart. and you are truthful. Throughout your life, if you are pursuer of truth and paid whatever price you have to pay, but you hold on to truth, that moral and ethical correctness becomes the foundation of your spiritual life. This has been described euphorically. You're on a highway, an avenue which will lead you to the divine. Vitato devajanaha. You will go by that path. You will not go to that path where you will be a victim of birth and death. Satyena pantha vitato devajana. Jena akramanti hi apta rishayo apta kama. Well, by means of which Rishi, a knower of the truth, samyak jnana, a Rishi, apta kama, he has no desire left in his world, in his life, but to know his true original nature. Apta kama. He has got rid of all desires, but one desire remains paramount, and all the energy that he generates in his body-mind goes to achieve that and nowhere else. That is apta kama for you. Jatra tat satyasya paramam nidhanam. The real truth lies there. What is that real truth? An atikramya jnanam satyam. These are the gems that emanate from a realized soul and incarnation. Acharya Shankara mentions it. Worldly is jatha jatha kathanam, jatha jatha varnanam. Without adding any spice and salt, you tell the truth and nothing else but the truth. You speak and you think nothing but truth. This is worldly. And what is spiritual? You attain that goal where you cannot outgrow. You have reached the end of your search. Jena akramanti rishaya yapta kama jatra tat satyasya paranam nidhanam. The most secure, sublime place where truth will lead you there. In these two shlokas, dear, he has summarized what is the indispensable, essential, mind two words, indispensable, essential, spiritual discipline that a seeker of truth must perform. Now, he comes back again. After these two instructions, two shlokas of instructions, he goes back. What is your experience? When you are a realized soul, descriptive part of it. If you do not know what you are achieving at, trying at, what you are trying to achieve, if you do not know it properly, how can you reach it? And even if you reach it, you will not know it. That's what it is. So now he is describing it to you. Brihatcha taddivyam achinta rupam. This is the descriptive part to clarify your vision, to make you understand what is your goal of life. And what is it? You will use words which will only symbolizes or signifies, because words cannot define it. If words can define it, it is not eternally real. So he is in an enigma. So he is finding out words which are tatastha lakshana, a tree standing, a tall, huge tree standing on by side of a flowing river or a flowing creek. You don't see its stem, but you see the top, and you see the top, and you can slowly come down and imagine where the river is flowing. This is tatastha lakshana. Brihatcha. It is immeasurably big. What does it mean? Space cannot limit it. It is beyond the concept of space. Brihat. Not only that, tad divyam achinta rupam, divyam, alaukikam. It is effulgence. But I can say, you know what effulgence is? You have seen fire, you have seen sunlight, you have seen moonlight, you have seen fire, you have even seen what's that? Night fly? Firefly, yeah. I'm sorry. Pardon me. You have seen the sun. You know what luminosity, effulgence is. When the sun is not there, in Jyotir Brahmana, in Sridharananda Upanishad, it's very well defined. When the sun is not there, what is the effulgence? The moon. Well, there are nights when moon is not there. Good enough. Moon is not there, so what do we have by way of effulgence? Fire. It illuminates. And you don't burn a fire, what else do you have? Stars. It's clouded sky, you don't see stars. Ultimately, the student scratches his head and says, why, sir, a firefly? A jugnu? A jonaki? And if there is no jugnu, jonaki, firefly there, what do you see? What's your effulgence? Sir, I am aware I am. That is the effulgence. That effulgence is my true original nature. Sat Swarup is existence. Chit Swarup is awareness. So it's my original nature. That is how the teacher slowly and slowly creates an understanding in the mind of the student. This awareness of mind is brihat, achinta rupam, divyam. Achinta rupam means it is beyond your thought. Your thinking is confined by space, confined by time, confined by shape and size, that is space and time, existence. But you are aware I am. Brihat, it is expansive, beyond the concept of space. Brihat cha tad divyam. It is alaukikam. That is, it. No worldly things can explain that. You can understand within yourself. I am aware I am. And I am beyond time, beyond space, beyond causation. I am what I am. It is experienceable, not describable. Divyam, achinta rupam. You cannot think of it. You can't confine itself into some form. Achinta rupam. Shukshma cha shukshmataram vibhati. Shukshma, subtle. What is the subtlest in our physical world? The concept of ether. In Sanskrit, in our terminology, it's akasha. Akasha and prana. And cosmic energy and ether. Ether is. And as soon as I use the word ether, I am aware ether is. Isness is, subtlest of the subtle. Awareness of the isness is subtlest of the subtle. It is widest of the wide, bigger than the biggest. It is indescribable. It is absolutely pure effulgence which is to be experienced within myself. Awareness. Brihatcha bibyam achinta rupam shukshma cha tat shukshma taram bibhati. It is manifest. You have to develop that insight, not eyesight. You have to develop that insight to appreciate the existence of that eternal entity. Where do you find it? Up in cloud 9? Beyond the Himalayas? Beyond the Alps? Where do I find it? Deep down in the ocean? Dear, no. Don't make that mistake. Durat sudure. For a person to have not understood it, he thinks it is far, far, far away from me. Dura is distance. Distance much more than your concept of distance. It is beyond your concept of distance. That is what you think the Atman is. Tat iha antikecha. It is here within you. What a way to describe. Durat sudure tad ihantikecha. Durat sudure tad iha antikecha. Patshachu ihaiva nihitam guhaya. Patshachu, the owner who, the experiencer, who experiences it. Where does he experience? In the guhayam, in Hridaya Guha, in the cavity of your own personality. Now, this is how Atman is being described. And what is Atman? Don't forget the equation. You are that. Tat tvam asi. Your true original nature is described here, and it is being described in such a manner as far as words can take you. And the indication of those words is good enough to realize, oh, this is what is being said. My true original nature. What is it? He says, Brihatcha tad divyam achinta rupam. Let me repeat it before closing. It is Brihat. Brihat means bigger than the biggest that you can ever conceive of. And our conceive of bigness is the quantum of space that it covers. It is beyond the concept of space. Space is, Akasha is, ether is. It is permeating into the subtlest of existence physically. That is why it is said it is spiritual. Brihatcha tat divyam. Divyam means it is effulgent. Achinta rupam. You can't limit by your thought processes. Now listen, in this worldly life of ours, our thought processes are conditioned by the activities of our sense organs and the capacity to imagine. That is the limit. This is beyond that. When you are imagining things, you first accept its existence and you are aware of it. Satsarupata, Chitsarupata, Anandasarupata. Satchit Ananda Atma. Now, for a person who has not realized it or who is not able to hold the inner meaning of these words, for him it appears to be far, far, far away, beyond my concept. If you want to see it objectively, you don't see it. You don't see it. So he says, Durat Sudurecha, I agree. People who are unable to understand this, I would say, symbolic words, they think it is far away. But no, dear, the truth is, tat, that, iha, here, antike, in me. Don't try to find it here. There's a beautiful song by Kabir Das. मुझको कहाँ ढूंढो बंदे, मैं तो तेरे साथ हूँ. God is telling the devotee, you are finding me, trying to see me and find me everywhere. To this pilgrimage, to that pilgrimage, to that temple, to that temple. My dear, where are you searching me, searching for me? मैं तो तेरे पास साथ हूँ, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ. I am with you all the time. I reside in you. Where are you looking for me here and there? Look within yourself. I am established there. Tat iha antikecha. And then Dura sudureta idhantikecha patshatshu iha iva. Iha eva, not iva, eva. Patshatshu. He who sees that here in himself. Nihitam guhaya. Patshatshu ihaiva nihitam guhaya. He sees him within himself in the core of his being, or euphemistically, core of his heart, in the depth of his being. He resides there. Look for him there, not elsewhere. To look for him there, you have to clean yourself up. As you clean up a dirty mirror. Cleaning by following those disciplines mentioned in Anubandha Chatushtaya and the 4 ancillary disciplines mentioned here, Satya, Tapasya, Samyak Jnana and brahmacharya. So you see now, dears, how the Upanishad is coming to a close, where he is now concentrating on the instructive part and the descriptive part, so that you are totally aware, totally understanding symbolically what is your goal of life. Brihatcha taddivyam achinta rupam sukshmacha sukshmataram vibhati dura sudurecha tadhyantikecha patshatsyu ihaiva nihitam guhaya. Well, dears, we have covered this shloka, and the next shloka will again tell you how to experience it without the help of your 5 sense organs. We will get to it during our next discourse. Thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.